Hey ladies, how are you doing? How is the cleanse going? I know that everyone is kind of in a different place right now. I know starting up last week with a cleanse with all the things happening with the elections was kind of crazy. And I didn't realize that until after we started meeting. So, anyhow, I just want to let you know that I know that everyone is in a different place right now with the cleanse. I'm actually myself in day 6. Today's my 6th day. I started last Thursday. So let me know how you're doing. I really want to know where you're at, if you're struggling with getting started, if you have any questions for me, how I can support you to get started, if you are doing it, what day you're in, and what types of things you might have questions about, or just let me know how you're feeling. This is a really big thing to embark on, and I want to make sure that you are getting the most out of it that you can. So I'm here for you, and I want to answer your questions. So I know that today is a little bit different. Normally we meet live at the shop in Coeur d'Alene, Holiday & Co. But today is kind of a crazy snowy day here in North Idaho, and it's dark and icy, and just want to make sure that we're all safe and can do this easily from home. So welcome. My name is Cynthia Ray, if you don't know me already. But this is our second session of our cleanse challenge that we are meeting with for today. We plan on meeting for a total of 4 sessions, which meet once a week on Tuesdays at 5:30. But today we're meeting a little early if you are live and not watching the recording, because I have guests coming into town last minute and want to make sure that I get this in before they get here. So anyhow, welcome to all of you who are watching this recording. So this is our second session, like I said, and today we're going to be talking about the health benefits of cleanse eating and why we're doing what we're doing, how it all works. And I'm really excited because there's a lot of information I'm about to give you guys about some really cool nutritional health benefits for different foods and just how they are so incredibly instrumental in healing and for the overall health of your body. So welcome. So let's start talking a little bit about cleanse eating and what this looks like. So obviously we are starting with a vegan diet for the first 10 days and then continuing on with with some animal protein added in there, including cheese and eggs from days 11 to 21. So typically, like I mentioned last time, within like the first 5 to 6 days of the cleanse, you may start experiencing some cleanse symptoms are called Herxenheimer reactions, which could feel like a cold or a flu, achy, tired, sleepy, headachy, things like that, which actually is a good sign, which means that you're actually clearing the toxins and they're currently circulating in your system. And with plenty of water, continue eating whole food and exercise, you'll start to release them from your body, whether it's in sweat, whether it's through your lungs, through urination and feces, you'll start to release those toxins as you continue eating a healthy whole food diet. So that's good. So just hold tight. You got it. I've been experiencing it too. I had a cold that was lingering, I don't know, for the past few weeks. And I think doing this cleansing is just really surfacing it and getting it out. So I'm kind of feeling a little achy and tired, a little nasally, but it's all good because I know that it's on its way out. So anyway, I hope you're doing well. Let me know how you're feeling if you're having any of those symptoms as well. I mentioned last week that you can take some supplements. You can take glutathione, which is an amino acid naturally found in our bodies that we make within our bodies, but it actually helps us to detoxify our liver. And if you don't have, not if you don't have enough, but if your body has a lot of toxins to deal with and you may be taxing your glutathione levels and its production, then you may need supplemental glutathione to help to release some of those toxins from your body and reduce the symptoms from cleansing. So if you don't have any glutathione, take a look at our Facebook page. I posted some in there a few days ago about what to take, how much to take, and what type to take, with my link for my affiliate for Amazon. So anyway, there's some recommendations there, as well as vitamin B12 to take supplementally while you're taking animal protein out of your diet to make sure you're getting enough B12 in while you're eating a vegan diet. So anyway, so that's about it for that. So let's talk a little bit about different types of eating. So let me kind of explain this to you. So what I want to talk to you today about is three different things, and they actually all coincide with each other. One of them, which I already mentioned a little bit about already, is the cleanse eating, the cleanse food that we're eating. The other I want to talk to you about is about alkalinity and acidity when it comes to food. And the other component I want to talk to you about is anti-inflammatory diet. So I actually have a couple things to share with you today. I'm going to share my screen with you in just a minute. But I have a great video by Dr. Andrew Weil. I don't know if you've heard of him before, but Dr. Weil is pretty much the front runner when it comes to the anti-inflammatory diet and the health benefits and the reason why it's so important to incorporate in our lives. So essentially, the anti-inflammatory diet incorporates mainly plant foods with some animal protein, and if there is animal protein, it's mainly from fish, which is very similar to what you may find in the Mediterranean diet. So, but with the anti-inflammatory diet, the purpose is to help your body heal from any kind of inflammation, whether it's external inflammation, when you get like, a bruise or a cut and it gets to be red and swollen. On the outside, that actually happens on the inside of our bodies too. So, and that surfaces as certain chronic diseases like diabetes, high blood pressure, elevated cholesterol, heart disease, and inflammation like joint pain, arthritis, things like that. So if we are able to take control of our diet and eat foods that are anti-inflammatory, we can help to prevent some of these chronic diseases that may come into play. So let me talk to you a little bit about anti-inflammatory diet, and I'm going to share with you a video by Dr. Andrew Weil where he explains exactly what it means. So, like I said, anti-inflammatory diet is mainly plant-based, and the purpose is to stop inflammation from happening in the first place. So it's mostly what's happening at the cellular level within our bodies that we have no idea about until it surfaces as it grows until it surfaces in our body as a chronic disease. So, or it may be, you may have joint pain like arthritis as well. You may even see some of these pro-inflammatory foods, which is the opposite of anti-inflammatory. So anti-inflammatory foods are basically fruits, veggies, whole foods, fish, legumes, seeds, nuts, healthy oils, olive oil, and coconut oil. Those are anti-inflammatory foods. And pro-inflammatory foods are more of like the processed foods and sugars. So anything that's packaged, boxed, sometimes canned, but the processed foods that take a whole food product and then process it into a different form or add to it, and especially sugars are going to be the pro-inflammatory foods or foods that cause inflammation. So let me share with you a little video. He'll give you a really good explanation of what an anti-inflammatory diet looks like. And let me share my screen with you. Okay. So here's a video by Dr. Andrew Weil. Oh, where did it go? No, that's my daughter's video. Okay, let me find it again. One sec. Here we go.
Inflammation is the cornerstone of the body's healing response. And we all know it on the surface of the body. It's local heat, redness, swelling, and pain. That's the way the body gets more nourishment and more immune activity to an area that's injured or under attack. But inflammation is so powerful that it's very important that it stays where it's supposed to stay and end when it's supposed to end. If inflammation persists, if it serves no purpose, it becomes productive of disease. It destroys tissue, it causes damage. And so in the body, inflammation is very tightly regulated. There are forces that increase inflammation and forces that decrease inflammation. And these have to be in balance so that inflammation is ready when it's needed and can be called off when it's not needed. There is I think, growing awareness that many chronic degenerative diseases, and certainly I think all of the diseases of aging, are rooted in inappropriate inflammation. I've said that Alzheimer's disease begins as an inflammatory process in the brain. Coronary heart disease, the root there seems to be inflammation in the lining of arteries, and that seems to be a deeper root than deposition of cholesterol. In fact, it may even be that the cholesterol deposits are flawed healing attempts of the body trying to patch defects caused by inflammation. So the question is, what causes the inflammation? Why is that there? I think even the most interesting connection is with cancer, because when I was studying medicine, and up until relatively recently, all of these diseases were seen as very separate. There would be nothing in common between coronary heart disease and cancer. But in fact, the same hormones that upregulate inflammation also stimulate cells to divide more frequently. So anything that pushes the body in the direction of increased inflammation is also pushing the body in the direction of increased possibility of malignant transformation. And I think the exciting possibility here is that if all these diseases have a common root, then there's a common strategy for dealing with them. Inflammation is influenced by genetics. It's influenced strongly by nutritional factors, and that's what I'll talk to you about tomorrow. It's influenced by toxins that we're exposed to in the environment. It's influenced by stress and emotional states. So a lot of that is under your control. And I think one of the key points of healthy aging and achieving compression and morbidity is adopting and constructing an anti-inflammatory lifestyle. That is, in all the areas that you have control over, doing things that help contain inappropriate inflammation. I think you could make a case that most people in our part of the world go through life in a pro-inflammatory state. And that, allergy might be one manifestation of that in early life. Autoimmune diseases may be. But I think the more interesting and important possibility is that long-term, that inappropriate, low-level chronic inflammation, and not where you're aware of it, this is going on internally, is the root cause of these big categories of diseases of aging.
Okay, isn't that cool? I think Dr. Weil is so cool. Just his,
how do I beat expectations?
Hang on one sec.
Simple. I know what to expect.
Oh, UPS. Okay. Okay. So anyway, yeah, he's such a cool. Oh man, not again. Hang on.
At LASIK Plus, we get it. Glasses and contacts stink.
This off. Okay. Okay. So anyhow, yeah, he's such a cool, Dr. Weil's such a cool guy. Just the way he looks and everything just makes you feel comfortable, and knowing that he knows what he's talking about. He's kind of like a fatherly figure. But anyhow, so as you can see, as he was saying, inflammation really does play a huge part in disease, right? It's the precursor. It's what happens before disease occurs. So he was saying that it's interesting because if disease has one common root, which is inflammation, then there's one common way that it can be healed or reversed. So, which he describes as the anti-inflammatory diet, which essentially is what we're doing in our cleanse. We are eating an anti-inflammatory diet, and later on, we're going to add in some animal protein. And like he recommends, fish is a really great source for anti-inflammation and for disease prevention. So usually when people are cleansing, they're thinking, oh, I really want to reset my diet, or I really want a quick way to lose weight. So usually cleansing isn't for weight loss, but many times and very commonly people do lose weight with it, right? So this can be a really good opportunity to do a bunch of different things at one time. So if you could adopt this eating style as your lifestyle, you can imagine how incredibly healthy you would be overall. However, it's not just diet that plays a role in an anti-inflammatory lifestyle, but it's diet, and he said genetics, right? You can't really control genetics, but you can control factors like your nutrition, the toxins you expose yourself to, and the stress that you're under, right? So another aspect of the anti-inflammatory lifestyle for disease prevention is controlling stress, right? So I've learned in the past that the issues in life aren't the issues, it's how we respond to them. So in my programs, especially the Well Within Lifestyle Academy program that I have, a big part of it is looking at mental health and emotional health. So I want to kind of go over that with you today as far as managing stress. So I did a video about that. It's on my YouTube channel if you want to check out some natural ways to reduce stress. You can see that on my YouTube channel. It's Well Within Inc. Anyhow, so one of the ways you can do that is through meditation and deep breathing. So if you can basically take a moment, honestly, calming yourself down and relaxing doesn't take that much time. But if you can take a moment and maybe even 2 to 5 minutes each morning before you go to bed, just to close your eyes and calm your body down, just kind of relax your shoulders and your neck. There's a method you can do called progressive muscle relaxation, where if you obviously put your body at rest, you can lay down or sit up with your back up nice and tall. You can create a focal point in the center, kind of like the center of your head here. If you close your eyes, you can picture something that you're looking at, whether it's picturing the center of your mind or your head, or picturing a beautiful scene. Sometimes as Christians, we like to picture God, like spending time with God or Jesus. But just putting yourself, creating a focal point for your mind's eye to look at, and just taking some deep breaths and progressively relaxing your muscles. You can, as you take a deep breath, you can relax the muscles from the top of your head, and then kind of let it melt down to your cheeks, and then down to your neck and shoulders, chest, waist, abdomen, relaxing your hips and butt, relaxing your leg muscles and your upper thigh, then your knees and your calves and shins, and then down to your feet, till your whole body is relaxed and melted down. And once you're in that state, you can just take some deep breaths, listening to your breath, kind of like the tides of the ocean or the waves of the ocean. When you breathe in, you kind of picture the tide coming in. And when you exhale, you can picture the tide going out. So you can just do that for a minute or two. Once your body's completely relaxed, just breathing in and out, letting your body melt down each time you take a breath in and out. Like I said, for even like 2 to 5 minutes. And if you feel like when you're in that state, your brain's kind of doing a monkey brain where you're going on to think about something else and you lose track of what you're doing, it's okay. Don't worry about it. It's all part of the process and strengthening your brain and your the muscles, really the neuro transmitters in your brain. If you can really create new pathways and highways to relaxation with the nerve connections in your brain, you can actually create a more relaxing state when stress comes your way. So really practicing meditation and mindfulness and relaxing your body is so helpful when stress comes along during the day. You'll be able to manage it better because you've created a new pathway in your brain that responds to stress in a new way. So just taking that time to breathe deeply in and out for 2 to 5 minutes. Like I said, if your brain kind of goes off, gently bring it back in without judgment or anything. Bring it back in and continue where you left off. So even if it happens over and over again, it's okay. Just keep capturing it and bringing it back in. And the more often you do it, the less you're going to have to bring your monkey brain out and back in. So you can enjoy that as a way to have an anti-inflammatory lifestyle, right? So the more stress you have, the more inflammation we have. And if you know how to manage that, you're going to have less inflammation. Okay, so that's that for managing stress. So for the nutrition part, we have nutrition down with what we're eating with the cleanse. But I also want to share with you a couple of other things. Actually, one other thing that I thought was kind of interesting that coincides with the anti-inflammatory lifestyle and cleanse lifestyle, which is pH, the pH of food. So if you've heard of this, but this is popular maybe, 8 to 10 years ago, alkaline and acid foods. So foods that are high acid obviously don't sound like they're very good for you, right? And foods that are alkaline sound a little bit healthier. So let me give you a little distinction here real quick. So foods that are high acid aren't necessarily high acid by nature, but the foods that are high acid when you eat them and they go into your stomach. So for example, so if you take a lemon, right, that's a really high acid food by nature. But with a lemon, it's super cleansing and super alkalinizing. It's super healthy because even though it's acid by nature, when you eat it and it goes into your stomach and meets the digestive juices in there, which are acid, it actually neutralizes the acidity in your body. That also happens with any kind of citrus fruit, whether it's oranges or limes or grapefruit or lemon. It even happens with watermelon. Watermelon is actually an alkaline forming food. So foods like citrus fruits or watermelon are called alkaline forming. So when you eat them, although they're acid in nature, they become alkaline in your body, which actually help to bring the acidity down in our bodies, which helps to create a anti-inflammatory environment or a healthier environment. So when you do have any illness or disease coming your way internally, it helps your immune system to calm it down so it's not as inflamed and reduce your risk of disease. So I hope this is all making sense, but it's absolutely amazing to me the power that nutrition has in our bodies to either help us or to break us down. So I hope you choose the foods that help you to feel better, right? So let me share with you a little chart I have here. Again, one sec, with some healthy food options for alkaline and acid. So let's see where it is. Here it is. Okay. So here's a little chart that shows you the spectrum of foods from over here, where it says acidic, to the other end here where it says alkaline. So in the middle right here, 7, which is actually a neutral pH, it's right in the middle. You want to have foods that are, what do I have here? We want to do 80% of your diet alkaline and 20% of your diet to be acidic, right? So let's take a look at the alkaline foods or alkaline forming foods. So we have fruits and veggies, right? There's even citrusy type things or acid type things like pineapple over here. And then we also have some other fruits and veggies here. We have avocado and greens and some grapes and kiwi, some really whole healthy foods. And then over here, even more alkaline. So look at lemon. Lemon, although it's acid by nature, is alkaline, super alkaline in your body. Beetroot is actually, and garlic, these are actually one of the top, and cucumber, zucchini, are the top, actually all of these are the top foods that help to cleanse your body. So all of these alkaline forming foods, all these alkaline foods are super cleansers for your liver and help to move those toxins out. So as you can tell, eating the food that we're eating for the cleanse are doing that exact thing. That's their job. Even here, I don't know if this is a grapefruit or an orange. This is another super cleansing food. Bananas are helpful, apples too, and I don't know if this is a beet or if this is a radish. But anyhow, all of these foods are super helpful with when it comes to cleansing and anti-inflammatory. And then over here, we have in the middle, we have water and oil, which are more of the neutral. They're in the middle of alkaline and acidic. And then as we move to the left, it's more of the acid-forming foods. So you don't want to you want to make sure that you're not eating a completely alkaline diet. You want to also have some acid in your diet as well to balance it out. So some of that more acid-forming foods, one of the less acid-forming foods are fish and coconut and eggs, chocolate, dark chocolate, brown rice. I'm not sure what this one is. It looks like a plum maybe. Some beans and milk and yogurt. So as you go down here, a little bit more, you have some more acid-forming foods. The more acid-forming foods actually are meats, which is interesting. And then so we have a piece of chicken here, and then some wheat, which is a little more acid-forming. Breads are more acid-forming in general, starches, things like that. You go a little bit further down, so it's more of the animal products, as you can tell here, ice creams and sugar, dairy and sugar, cupcakes and breads. Those types of things are more acid-forming. And on the very end here, acid-forming are alcohol, sugar, sugary drinks, are mainly the ones that are the most acid forming foods. So if you can have mostly plants in your diet with some animal protein and some wheat, it's actually going to give you the best results for disease prevention and feeling your best. So I thought you might kind of like to take a look at that. Let me close my screen here. Okay, and then one more chart I want to show you is just some really great foods that detox the body. Actually, I'm going to change this one up for this one. This is a really good one too. So like I was showing on the alkaline list, there's also turnip greens are awesome. Red bell pepper, citrus fruits, like I shared before, sunflower seeds are high in selenium and vitamin E and assist the liver's detoxing capabilities, also prevents cholesterol buildup, which is so cool. So when you have a sec, you can take a look at all these. Even cucumber is super cleansing. So around 93% of it is water, and it helps to flush out toxins and alkalinize the body while delivering a nutrient punch. So all of these foods that are within here, mung beans, walnuts, sunflower seeds, artichokes, lentils, which is something that's definitely part of our diet for the cleanse, whole grains. We're not doing that quite yet, but later on. Turmeric, super, super awesome for anti-inflammatory properties. If you have, any inflammation from like joint injuries or muscle soreness, muscle injuries, turmeric is so good at bringing down that inflammation. Even topically, you can make a little paste from it and put it on the injured spot, and it'll help to reduce inflammation. Garlic is incredible. Broccoli, such a common thing, but it's so great. You want to get this one organic if you can. And then grapefruit, it lowers cholesterol, prevents kidney stones, and aids the digestive system. So not only are these anti-inflammatory foods or detoxing foods that cleanse the body, but they're also great for digestion and elimination. So if you are having trouble with elimination as far as like constipation and things, you won't after having an anti-inflammatory or cleansing diet. So I don't know if it depends on where you're at in the cleanse, but if you are doing it, you're going to know that you have no problem using the bathroom. And you may even feel a little bit gassy at the beginning because of all the fiber that your body's taking in. So anyway, just wanted to share that with you. And what else? Yeah, so those are the main things. I just really want to reemphasize how important it is to be eating our plant-based diet that you're enjoying right now, and then how this is going to benefit you, and how all of these foods play a major role in detoxing the body and preventing disease. Like I said before, I am always completely amazed by what our body does, what food does to our bodies in preventing disease, and what we can do to do that, and what we can do to actually cause disease to happen by having a high saturated fat diet or lots of processed sugary foods. But having a balance is really important too, right? So it's okay, after we're done cleansing, as you reintroduce foods, you're going to start noticing foods that feel good and foods that don't feel so good. So it's okay, like I was saying, to have something sweet once in a while if you want it, but just notice how your body feels when you have it, which is the main key. So so that's the main factor. Sorry, my daughter is calling me, just getting distracted. But that's the main thing. It's just really listening to your body, being mindful and understanding what your body wants and doesn't want, and treating it the best. We have such an amazing body. We only have one. And I really hope that you choose to treat it the best that you can. So anyway, that's all I have for today. And let me know if you have any questions. Oh, the one thing too I want to let you know is that many times women have trouble breaking through weight loss plateaus, and it's because of the toxins that are in our bodies. And once you detox, you're going to find that if you do have trouble breaking through plateaus, you're going to find that it's probably the toxins that are stored in your fat cells that need to be moved. And sometimes just dieting itself, reducing calories, is not the key, because we need certain detoxifying foods to move those toxins. So you may find, or you most likely will find, that you will start to lose weight when detoxifying and eating foods that help your body to do that. So anyway, that's all I have for today. If you're watching this replay, feel free to ask questions in the comment section, and I will be sure to answer them for you. Have a fantastic evening. Take care. Bye.